morning, everyone. And Phyllis, that was fabulous, like usual. My name's Patty, and I'll be your service leader today. Welcome to Unity of Bloomington. At Unity, we take off our mask. At Unity, we have practical spiritual teachings. They inspire abundant and meaningful living. We are a center for spiritual abundance and growth, and we provide inspiration, tools, and practices that support people on their path to spiritual growth. I'd like all of you to stand now and join us in our voices in joyful song. That was wonderful. Please remain standing and join with me in affirming our statement of being. Together, there is only one person and one power in the universe, God the good omnipotent. This power expresses life, love, wisdom, and abundance through me. In it, I live and move and have my being. Please be seated. One way we empower abundant and meaningful living is by practicing and living our 5 basic principles. I'll state the principle and invite you to respond with the affirmation. God is absolute good, everywhere present. God is. We have a spark of divinity within us, the Christ Spirit within. Our very essence is of God, and therefore we are also inherently good. We create our experience of life by the activity of our thinking. Everything in manifest realm has its beginning in thought. I create. Prayer is creative thinking that heightens the connection with God-mind and therefore brings forth wisdom, wholeness, prosperity, and everything good. I pray. Through thought, words, and actions, we live the truth we know. I live. I now invite Reverend Lynette up for a moment with our children.
That tree. All right. Hello. That was too much effort for too little yield. We are talking about the power of order this month. And I am very aware that there's a seesaw between order and chaos, which is, if you've seen the sign, it's order we just don't understand yet. Well, we are marking the anniversary of a year and a half of a different order than any of us anticipated. And I kept thinking of, I thought if I had any children here, they are not necessarily going to know who, gosh, and his name just went away. Mr. Rogers is. But you all know. so I can use this illustration. When asked, what do you do when something happens that seems to disrupt the normal order of things? Mr. Rogers says, help your children to look for the helpers. Because what we have learned, and with the anniversary of September 11th, 2001 yesterday, it was brought up several times that it was an opportunity, interestingly enough, for people to help. I remember the thousands of people who lined up to give blood, certain that it was going to be needed, and it didn't end up being, but people were willing. And there are lots of other ways that in that incident, there were lots of helpers who came to the fore. People who may have never helped in a situation like that before were inspired. And apparent disorder seems to call that forth. And we experienced some of that right here. last March of 2020, there was a Friday the 15th, Friday the 13th, I think, Sunday was the 15th. And that was the day that the World Health Organization said, this is a global pandemic, we have to take it seriously. And I had everything planned for Sunday, and everything was in order. And I was working here on Friday afternoon, and when I went into sessions at 2 o'clock, everything was all set, and by the time I got finished at 5, we'd scrapped all of it. And it really is nothing short of a miracle that between 5 o'clock Friday and 10:30 Sunday morning, we managed to shift gears, and we're still able to have our usual Sunday service here, but it wasn't without a lot of helpers. If it had been up to me, we would have posted something on Facebook that said, "See you later." We'll pray for you, pray for us. But we didn't have to go that route. And today we want to recognize those helpers. And some of them are here and some of them are not. But Patty is going to help me because she was the Unity board member who was willing to be my partner in crime in pulling this all together. So she researched and has put together little appreciation gifts for our helpers. And we're going to ask, as she calls your name, if you would just come up. I'm going to explain what you did during the quarantine as a helper. And she's going to give you a bag, and then you can sit back down, okay? But you are going to get to walk all the way up here. But we aren't going to keep you for a long time, so don't worry about it. And if you're one of the people who does technical stuff, set it up to run on autopilot for about 90 seconds, okay? I got a nod of agreement. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. We'll start with our tech people.
We'll start with Seb.
Seb Neely.
And Andy.
And Andy Alexander. Seb has learned. Hey, let's give Andy a hand. He was already our sound tech. But thank you, Andy, for being our helper. He was here every Sunday that he was in town, and we did let him leave a couple times to go visit his family. But he was always integral to our operation, but when you're broadcasting or live streaming and recording the way we were, his job became even more essential. Seb, would you come up, please? No, I'm getting waved off. Why don't you take it here? We'll make Phyllis do the walking. Seb came forth as a competent videographer and visual technician during this time. He had said before he wanted to be here more often on Sunday morning, so we gave him a job, and he has been. So we deeply appreciate what Seb has done for us. He too has been here every Sunday, maybe save one. And there was once when Ginger made him scoot over a chair so that she could learn how to do what he did in case anything happened, and he couldn't be here, but he was still here in the building with us. So I suppose we could do podcasts without him, but Seb has really been a key to our being able to show up in people's living rooms during the last year and a half. Thank you, Seb. Okay, we're going to go faster through the rest of these. We had several people who rotated as our service leaders. And they include Joni Reagan and Dan Pekarsky, who also was one of our musicians and isn't able to be here with us today. Dave Kidd, who I don't see here today. And who's the last? Okay. I think that may be, and Phyllis was one, no, I was thinking Patty. They rotated through, and so we asked a lot of them during that time. They'd all been service leaders before, but we really depended on them. So, Joni, would you, Patty will bring it to you too. It'll be quicker. All right. Our musicians have been wonderful helpers all along. We really leaned on them heavily because they are so much a part of what we offer here on Sunday morning. Our speakers can be and often are inspiring, but most of you don't leave the service repeating lines that the speaker offered that morning as you go on with your day and your week. But the music is what stays with us. So we are so blessed to have the music team that we have. Patricia was not one of our helpers until we came to the end of the quarantine, but she's hopped right in. The rest of the group, yeah. Ginger and Penny and Betsy and Dan, who I mentioned earlier, are all, and Phyllis, who keeps us all in the same key, which sounds easier than it is sometimes. And Ginger, of course, wears many hats. One of them is, she's our lead singer. But she and I shared the speaking opportunities along with some guests, some of whom came in person, and some of whom beamed in by satellite, or however they do that. I keep telling people I'm not the Minister of Technology, so I don't really understand most of that, but I appreciate it a lot. Okay, and Patty wants to say a word.
We appreciate all of you. It's not just the people up here, but you all kept coming and supporting us. And one of my big supports in my back pocket is Lynn. She has no idea how she has touched this congregation and my life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patty. And would you open this so everybody can see? It's actually I was hoping for gold bars. No, you don't have to read the card, but I want you to show the gifts so that when people see them later, you'll think, oh. And these are gifts from the congregation to the people who went the second mile.
These are thanks for being awesome. Your brand of greatness always comes through in awesome things you say and do.
And it looks like it's insulated cup for your favorite beverage. Oh. Yeah. Spill-proof and beautiful blue, my favorite. Thank you, Patty. And we often sing a song as we conclude the children's moment. And when there are kids here, they leave to go to their classes. That's a blessing. So this morning I was going to invite the children to bless our helpers. So you all get to assist me with that. Joni, would you click the... Here we go.
We're going to say it first, Phyllis. Phyllis, we're going to say it first.
Okay. if you would rub your hands together and create some extra energy, and then hold them up and look at one of the people who was just recognized. Let's say the unity blessing, and then we'll sing it. Together, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Now, strike up the band. We love you, we bless you, we truly, truly appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty, and thank you, Lynn. We appreciate you both.
This year's Unity theme, annual theme, is how to stay centered no matter what. Each month, we explore the role that one of the 12 powers plays in staying centered and experiencing inner peace, no matter what is occurring around us. This month, we are exploring the power of order. Order is built into all of life, everything from the spirals of a nautilus to the hexagonal honeycomb, from infinite lines to ever-expanding circles. Displays on orderliness that dazzle scientists and theologians alike. Order fascinates all of us. We rely upon it, we study and make meaning of it. The order we sense and the experience in the natural world is a material representation of spiritual order. The intelligent underlying and overarching through invisible order out of which all becomes possible. When chaos seems to reign, we may doubt that reality of a spiritual order. Either the universe is unfair or God knows what we do not know. However, God is not a superhuman personality that imposes that order. Rather, God is order. The organizing principle revealed in the pattern of sequence inherent in all life. Divine order is not a correction of some unhappy condition, but an integrated arrangement of energy in a pattern, sequence, and method. Please join me in saying this month's affirmation together. Understanding divine order, I can embrace paradox and navigate chaos while keeping my balance. Are there any announcements today? Don't think so. Okay. The word for today is guidance. The affirmation is, I open my mind and heart to receive my guidance. Now I'll read the daily word. I open my mind and heart to receive my guidance. Sometimes I have insisted on figuring things out for myself rather than asking for anyone's help. Over the years, I have learned the value of asking for guidance and sharing what I've learned when others ask me. As we exchange ideas, we may tap into a higher wisdom that had not been apparent to either of us alone. This higher wisdom is not outside myself. It is a still, small voice, mine to call upon at any time. I am always able to ask for guidance, to show me the way forward. I access my inner guidance by opening my mind and heart in prayer. Then I watch and listen, remembering that divine guidance may come in a familiar way, or perhaps in an unexpected way that will surprise and delight me. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, my thoughts than your thoughts. That's from Isaiah 55, verse 9. Okay. Our Unity team will provide us our musical inspiration. And our speaker today is Dr. Lemuel Watson. Lem is the Vice President of Diversity and Equity and Multicultural Affairs, Provost Professor of Education, and a Senior Scientist at the Kinsey Institute at Indiana University. Nice to have you.
Thank you, Lynn. It's always fun when Lim comes to speak because he always introduces new songs to us. So thank you so much, Lim. Love knows no color, love knows no race, love knows no country, love knows no faith, love plays no favorites, love doesn't care who or what or why or where. Love only knows that love is real, making no distinctions. Love feels, love goes beyond nature or need. How can this be? Love only knows. Love only knows. Love has no titles. Love has no name, love has no history, love has no shame, love has no secrets, love has no walls, and I believe there's love in us all. Love only knows that love is real, making no distinctions. Love feels, love only knows nature or need. How can this be? Love only knows. Love only knows. perfectly, perfectly. Love only knows that love is real, making no distinction. Love feels, love goes beyond nature or need. How can this be? Love only knows. Love only knows. Love only knows. Love only knows. Thank you, and let's welcome Dr. Lemuel Watson.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I've been around this country to many different Unity churches and other churches, and I would put our music group and individuals up against any of them. I think you're wonderful. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you all for all that you do. You're quite an inspiration to me. And as I was preparing for this talk this morning, I realized I did order last year. And I thought, why does this keep coming back to me? So I looked at what I did last year and I just closed it and I thought, I'm gonna just let it come to me. Last week, I was at Big Sky, Montana, at Big Sky Retreat, which is a new thought, which was created by a man named Charles Giddis, and it's been running for 45 years. It blessed me. It was such an inspiration. And people like Michael Gott sung all week long, and David Alt spoke and blessed us. And so I just want to spin off some of that to you as I come to you this morning. And the title of this talk is, If Everything is in Divine Order, why do I feel so crazy sometimes? You know? You think about this world and everything that's happening, from drought to floods to fires to COVID, to racial issues, to sex issues, to politics. And, you know, you have to wonder when you say everything is in divine order. And I find myself constantly being prayed up, meditation, loving, thinking all things positive before I leave the house. But when I leave the house and interact in the world, sometimes I feel like Peter, who's walking on the water and all of a sudden you start to sink. And I realize it's because I take my eyes off what my purpose is. And so I just want to remind you that as New Thought leaders and New Thought individuals, sometimes when we say everything is in divine order, we have to think about that sometimes. And so we don't have to feel guilty when we start talking about what we think we manifest. But sometimes I really do imagine New Thought individuals and ourselves, when things are happening in people's lives, we say, oh, everything is in divine order. You know, not so cavalier, but it comes across to people who may not be in New Thought. And so I know that people are tuned into us through YouTube who may not understand New Thought, and so I want to spend a few moments just helping you understand that. And the notion that, can you really help people understand this when a mother sees her children get sick, or when a child dies? You know, how do you look at this mother and say, this is in purpose? Or when a husband is outside of a hospital room and can't get in to see his wife and she's dying of COVID, how do we say everything is in divine order? So my question to all of you today, as individuals and people who believe in a divine spirit, how do you know without a doubt that God is all there is and is all love? And how do you know everything is really in divine order? How do you know that and can say that and convince people that is so? And I think it's important sometimes that we stop ourselves and reflect upon that. We do know that God is mysterious. We do not have the mind of God. We don't know what time God is on. And so, as I think about this, I think of Reverend Allie Benjamin at the retreat last week. She sat on stage and she beamed of light when she talked about the darkness that she experienced in her life when she went home and found her son, Adam, in the backyard. And I'll get back to this in a moment, but I want to also make sure that I follow a pattern and be in order this morning. And so there was also a Unity minister from Florida named Lawrence Palmer, and he says he uses the Palmer method for sharing his word, and that is the what, the so what, and then what now. So what are we talking about this morning for those who may be a little more interested in order? Order is about alignment, organization, sequence, and arrangement. It is the color olive green. It is located in your belly button, the navel, and it represents James, son of Alphaeus. And we say things when we think about the order, like you've heard this morning, but the Christ in me activates perfect order. My spiritual path unfolds in proper sequence. Divine timing and order are now established in my life. I give thanks for the faculty of order. Divine order is the idea of adjustment. And as this established in the man's thought, his mind and affairs will be at one with the universal harmony. Also in Truth Unity, it says that order is the first law of the universe. Indeed, there could be no universe unless its various parts were kept in perfect order. The facts of spirits are the spiritual character, and when understood in the right relation, they are orderly. Orderliness is law and is the test of true science. We've already stated the affirmation this morning that divine order is now established in all areas of my life, my relationships, my finances, and my affairs, and I live in God's divine plan for my highest good. Cora Fillmore said it so eloquently. Understanding divine order, I can embrace paradox and navigate chaos while understanding my balance. And I think this is important to pause upon that. That when something bad happens or something not of our desire happens, do we stop and say, I embrace this chaos is part of divine order? I certainly don't. I have to remind myself constantly that I don't know why it's happening, but I'm sure it will happen and will make me better. That's the way I've adapted my thinking to this. So it's within each and every one of us. It is the presence that enables us to wake up in the morning. It is that which beats our hearts and breathes precious oxygen through our lungs, empowers our cells to divide, and the underlying essence that enable our atoms to thrive. Divine order is ever present, filling the beautiful and the horrific, the growth and the decay of life. It is God, the source, the infinite. I also like to turn to the Bible briefly before I leave the what, the order. Corinthians 14:33, and then again in 14:40, it says, for God is not a God of confusion, but of peace. Let all things be done decently and in order. Romans 8:28, and we know that all things work together for good for those who love God. But even more importantly, the longest psalm And the longest chapter in the Bible is Psalm 119. It is about order. It has 22 paragraphs, each with 8 verses, representing the Hebrew alphabet. Psalm 19 puts a priority on loving and obeying God's word. This psalm points out that how important God's word is for us. We are loved, and we need to read and study and be in order. And so I want to return for a moment to Allie Benjamin and how she found her son. He was dealing with depression. And she came home one day, and he was in the backyard, and he was hung. He hung himself on a telephone pole. And she said she didn't know how she would go on. And she is a New Thought leader. But she said she started realizing that she's glad that she was the one to find her son versus anyone else coming to tell her. She also stated that she wasn't broken, but she was broken open for the light to get in. And I think that's really important for us to acknowledge that sometimes we're prone to think in dualistic terms, good or bad, black or white, dark or light. And if all is God and all is love, then all is necessary and brings us into divine Christ consciousness. If you need another concrete example, I like to think of farmers. Farmers, they toil and work, and they have belief that something is going to come from every effort that they make. They know what they have control over. They know what they don't. But they have faith, and they keep moving on. And so that's a concrete example that I like to help people who may be new to New Thought just think about. So how do we know that everything is in divine order with conviction? And to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are loved, all is well, we need to stay in gratitude to know that all is in divine order, that the Holy Spirit and the teachings of the Wayshore are real. I know this basically because I have had many, M-I-N-E, and many, M-A-N-Y, miracles in my life. And I think it's important that as unity and New Thought leaders and individuals, we remember that order is also about hope and light. And I find it also very difficult to talk about order without talking about the other 12 powers in some ways. And so through my experiences in darkness, I'm able to have a testimony for others to believe. I'm able to be empathetic. I'm able to be compassionate with love and care and the light to help people understand that we're all part of the I am, and it's within us. So now what? Paraphrasing the late metaphysical teacher Wayne Dwyer, if you embrace the idea that there's a greater plan unfolding that you cannot see as a result, you go from being an actor who's influenced by others to being the producer and the actor and the person to select those who play a role in your life. Louise Hay reminds us that we need to honor the entirety of our journey. Think about your lives. When something difficult has happened, and a few months or a few years later, you turn around and go, oh, I see what that was about. I see it brought me through a place of growth where I'm able to have a testament and a testimony to others to believe and to keep moving forward. I think we need to be open to the light operating within and through us. Be open to what happens and to listen to other people. I think we have a responsibility, if we've been through the darkness and know that there's order, to stand in this space in the world right now, to shine and to let others know that there's a way through this. You may not get over it, but you get through it. And so I often think As I get up in the morning and go out into the world, what is mine to do? And what mine is to do is to be a light, to shine so brightly that others are attracted to it and that others will know, regardless of what they're going through, there's a way through it, and there is divine order in the world. We must remember the multiple stories that we've heard of people surviving in our own experience. We must remember stories like Joseph and his brothers who sold him into slavery, like the deceitful Darius who put Daniel in the lion's den and he survived. Nelson Mandela, as someone throughout the darkest times of his life continued to soar and that it didn't lose hope. His Holiness Dalai Lama, whose world was taken from him and he still shines and gives hope to the world. So order to me is about hope. It's about light. It's about continuing to let people know that whatever you go through, there's a meaning for it, whether you understand it then or not. It is your duty to remind the world. Use your courage to start where you are, within your circle, to bring light and order to conversations, situations, by letting your light shine as brightly as you can. This is where I remind myself regularly that I am in the world and not of the world. That if I have a testimony of love and survival, I must be the light. I must shine so brightly that others might know what is possible. The divine order of things release and accept that there is only one presence and one power moving in and through us in divine and perfect order. Trust and know this to be true in your own life. Thank you.
And now we'll prepare for meditation. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. I am held, I am whole, I surrender to it all. When I trust and let go, then I know that all is well. All is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. In this and every moment, I am safe and all is well. I am safe and all is well.
Let's take a moment to just take a deep breath and relax our mind. Just be in gratitude. Gratitude for the life we have. Gratitude for the peace, the chaos, knowing that something will emerge better. Let us think of the words, what a wonderful world we live in. And if individuals could write a song like that and sing a song like that in 1967 and believe that we live in a wonderful world, we must step into the space and have the courage to claim that it is a wonderful world, to claim that we are in peace, to claim that we're healed. You are the light. We don't follow worldly things. We bring order and we bring light into unimaginable situations. It is your sacred duty. It is your calling to speak peace, to speak love, to speak joy, to speak unity, to love and to hold and to lift up, knowing that all is well. To say that with the spirit that could move a mountain. To know that you are loved, that you are indeed kissed by God and held in a space full of love and full of light. Like so many who have gone before us and who have gone through difficult times, indeed for us to be here today. If you need a little faith, just think about the world and where we are and how we continue to evolve. We don't know the result of COVID, but we know that our consciousness has been raised. And so I send you joy. I send you love. I send you peace. I send you creativity. And most importantly, I send you courage to shine, shine, shine. All there is love. And so I bless you. I love you. You are worthy. Thank you, God. And so it is.
I am the love of God. I am the love of God. The love that makes the universe. The love that sustains us all. I am that love. I am the love of God. You are the love of God. You are the love of God. The love that makes the universe. The love that sustains us all. You are that love. You are the love of God. You are the love of God. I am that love. I am the love of God.
Thank you very much, Lem. That was wonderful, very meaningful, and very loving towards all of us and everyone on the earth. Okay, we turn now to our spiritual practice of generosity. We are grateful for the many things this center supports us in, our spiritual growth, and we return, in turn, are happy to support this center with our financial contributions and our voluntary service. We also are grateful for those who have already put into practice automatic giving, weekly, monthly, or even quarterly. Today, if you feel led to give, visit our website at unityofbloomington.org and click the giving link. And if anyone brought a tithe today or a love offering, we invite you to place it in our singing bowl at the entrance. And it's in our singing bowl that you can also put a prayer request. You can find those in front of your seat in the flap in the back of the chair. Join me now in speaking aloud our abundance affirmation. I am an abundant being living in an abundant universe. God is the source of my supply. I am not dependent on people or situations for my good. God is the source of my supply. I always have something to give, and I consistently give it. I expect the best, I give my best, and I will attract the best. Everything to be.
Living in the flow of miracles. 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 How it works, I don't have to know. I can be happy just living in the flow. Living in the flow. Living in the flow. How it works, I don't have to know. I can be happy just living in the flow. Living in the flow. Living in the flow. Living in the flow of miracles. 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 How it works, I don't have to know. I can be happy just living in the flow. Living in the flow. Living in the flow. How it works, I don't have to know. I can be happy just living in the flow. Living in the flow. Living in the flow. Living in the flow of miracles. living in the flow of miracles, living in the flow of miracles, living in the flow of miracles.
We bless our abundance with these words. Together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I would like everyone to stand now and join me in saying our closing prayer together. We give thanks for the light that fills us, the love that enfolds us, the power that heals us, the presence that guides us. Where we are, God is, and all is well. In gratitude for our radiant health, please remain in place and join us in singing together, "Let There Be Peace on Earth."
Let